When talking about defense, the big philosophy that we have is trying to limit the ball from getting into the paint. Starting out in transition, we really try to get at least two guys back, and depending on where a third guy is that has not been a great offensive rebounder for us, we may get three men back at times, and also depending on who we play. There's certain teams we feel like we have a size and physicality advantage. We may send four to the basket in the offensive glass, especially if they don't try to expose teams in transition. But generally, what we try to do is send three to the offensive glass and get our one and two man back. Now, there are certain occasions. In fact, a guy that I talked to this summer was Tom Thibodeau. And when he was with the Celtics, he said a lot of times, because Rajon Rondo is such a good offensive rebounder, they would allow him to go to the offensive glass, and then it was Kevin Garnett. It was his read on when Rondo was in there that it was his job to get back, especially when he was above the three-point line. So there's different philosophies on it, different ways to do it, but we generally like to get at least two back. George Niang, who didn't have great offensive rebound numbers in conference season last year, we'll send him back on many occasions and let DeAndre Kane, our point guard, go in there and rebound on the offensive end, because generally he has a size advantage against the point guard that he is playing against. The biggest thing, like I said earlier, that we have really changed this year as opposed to my first couple of years is we are really trying to get back and build a wall. I'll drop a couple things and then show a couple drills that we really try to do to enforce that. But when we get back in transition, number one, our safety man, if they're in the corner, wherever they may be on the floor, could be all the way underneath the basket, their job, as soon as that shot goes up, I don't care where they are, they have got to get back and protect the hole. So that's number one. Our second guy, let me just build on that. If that guy, for whatever reason, takes a shot, so let's say my safety man, especially if they're below the free throw line area, if that safety shoots or does any type of penetration where he shoots at the basket, the other player, usually the point guard, generally my safety is the two-man, then that point guard, wherever he is, let's say the one-man or the point, has got to get back, and now they've got to talk it out where he protects the paint, and now that safety may have to get back to the top and have a cross match until they can switch back. 3, 4, 5, as soon as that ball is secured, we're not down here fighting it or trying to get a deflection or trying to get a steal. They're instructed to sprint back to the paint so they can release that safety man so he can get out to his man and take away shot. Obviously, the huge thing in transition is communication. If you can get back and communicate, that makes up for a lot of things that could happen if you get messed up in transition. Some of the drills we'll do is we'll put 5 men across the line, 5 defensive players, 5 on offense down here, and we'll give an advantage to the offensive team. So coach will be out top here. Whoever he throws the ball to, that man's got to come down and touch baseline before he gets out. So obviously you're going to have a 5-on-4 advantage going down there for a brief second until this guy can sprint his way back in. So these guys have got to get back to the paint. Somebody has got to declare ball and come out and pick up. We pick up right at the three-point line, and then they've got to talk in cover until this guy gets back. So again, we try to get ball, all right, and then get a diamond type set so we can have every spot covered on the floor until, again, this guy usually gets back. If the ball is over here on offense, then this guy's usually going to the furthest guy away on the weak side because of the loading to the ball. So that's one drill that we'll try to do in transition. There's times where we'll even make it 5-on-3. So we'll have the 5 offensive players, and then we'll have a coach just call 2 players' names. Let's say he calls this name and this name. Now, as that ball is entered, these guys both have to go down, and now basically we're getting back in a triangle type set. So we've got somebody's got to declare the ball. These guys are basically on the blocks, and then these other 2 are sprinting back in transition and making sure that we've got communication while that whole thing is happening. So if that ball comes over here, again, we are loading to the ball, and we've got a line of tape on our floor that we call the help line. So as that ball is on this side of the floor, we don't want anybody on the opposite side of the help line so we can get that thing stopped on penetration. If we get beat, we've got that built-in help that doesn't have to come over too far. So that's kind of our philosophy in transition, and just a couple drills that you can do to work on it. Another drill that you can do that really makes them communicate out there is the change drill, and you don't let them guard the guy in front of you. So you can get 5 guys on offense, 5 on defense, blow the whistle. Offense has to put the ball down, and then your scramble mode on the way back. And again, if you can't guard the guy in front of you, you better talk, or else that other team is going to get a basket. So those are 3 drills that we like to do to really work on our transition defense. Transition here, line transition. All right, now we'll go down 5 on 4, Blue. Okay, 5 on 4. Touch the line and get back. All right, then put 30 on the clock. Put 30 on the clock. All right, we're going to go with the contain drill now. All right, so it's going to be 4 on 4. Get a post opposite now. Okay, offense, post is going to be opposite the ball. All right, and getting our shell spots on the outside. Now we're driving it, trying to get into the paint. I don't want a shot until you get into the paint. Okay, so we're matched up down there and scramble. All right, scramble 5 on 4. Once we get set, all right, you got 30 seconds to defend them. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Melvin. That's right. It's 5 on, yeah. Touch the bottom. Okay. In a paint. Once you get a paint, you can shoot. Here we go.
You got it cut out.
Get back, get back, get back. Stay tight, George.
Good, good. Get it out top, out top.
Finish it.
Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Here
Let's
we
go.
Come on, Cortland. Stay tight.
Tyler,
Stay
Tyler,
tight.
get down to the post.
Stay tight.
Shell spots. Here we go.
Get
4
off,
on 4
get
contain.
off, get off.
Get that hand up.
Stay
You got to
good,
get that
stay
hand
good.
up.
Go finish it.
All right, here we go.
Good job,
Good job, Terrence. We'll get those deflections. Blue, take care of the ball.
I know you didn't switch over that right hand. Huh?
Push it, push it.
Huh?
Got it cut out on the glass.
Get to the basket, get to the basket, Matt, to the other side. Stay in there, Matt, stay in there, Matt.
Shut it down,
good,
shut
good
it down.
Good, get it out top now, out top, George. Give me the ball,
Hey,
give me the ball, George, out top.
his-
George, you and Tyler
yeah.
step off, you and Tyler step off. 4 on 4 contain.
Only in the paint.
Right into it,
Yes.
right into it.
You can
Contain,
push the
contain.
score, but you
Get out,
got to
Dustin,
score it
get
in
out,
the
Dustin.
paint. Not a jump shot. Shut it down.
Get into
shut
the
it
ball,
down, shut
Dustin.
it down, shut
We're
it down.
switching it.
That's a dribble split.
Dustin, why'd you switch? Why did you switch out?
We're not switching.
It's a let through.
Good job, Blue.
Let through, okay?
Just like
That's
the
a dribble
3-on-3
split.
Go,
drill.
4 on 4
You want
containing.
to drive it. You want to drive
Great,
it.
no split up there. Here we go, go.
Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it.
Good, good.
Shut it down. You got to work together. Shut
You
it down.
should go
There
to
you
the nail now. Good,
Finish,
good.
finish, rebound it.
Go get it,
Good,
Matt.
here we go, here we go, here we go, ball. Here we go, 15 seconds, Kurt. 15 seconds, 4 on 4, one more time.
Shut it down. Get that hand up on the
Close out
closeout.
high hand,
You
Greg.
go
Here we
get
go,
him.
go.
Go get him. There you go. Good job. Good job. That's
Good,
better.
Matt,
See
good,
it?
Matt, good vision, good
Go
vision.
back up,
That's it,
go
Melvin.
back down.
Good, finish.
Stay down, stay down. There you go.
Good job.
There you go,
That's why
Matt.
Adam hands active. Don't stop.
Stay
Don't
down.
stop. Don't stop.
Rebound
Finish,
it.
rebound.
Go get it. Go.
I'm here.
Stay left hand up. Left hand up. There you go.
Good, here we go. All right, let's bring it back now. All right, Blue, you're coming back.